Morning everyone, welcome back to Riding with Rie with me and Ted. One of the questions that you guys have been asking me lately is how do you actually find a share? So once you know that you want one and you know the costs and the contracts needed, how do you actually find one? So as I'm getting ready today before work, I'm going to take you through how I found Ted, and then I'm going to take you through some of the tips to find your own. If you do find this video useful, please subscribe. We would love to have you as part of our yard family. Ted is my first horse share, so we're sharing our tips, tricks and fails as we go along. Let's get into the video. So Ted and I are about to head out to the yard so that I can muck out the stable. But first I thought I'd tell you how I found Ted. So I'm actually in a couple of local equestrian Facebook groups, and I posted an advert in there which I'll link on here so you can see. And that is how I first found Ted. A few people got in touch and I went through a few of them and decided which ones felt right for me, and then I set up viewings with those people. Ted is out in the yard. I'm just about to muck out the stable. So back to the Facebook group. So in that Facebook group, quite a few people got in touch and I found 4 horses that I liked. And the way that I broke down the criteria of what I liked was how big the horse was, how far away they were, and the kinds of things they were doing. So I knew that I wanted a horse that could hack out, that could school, that could jump. I didn't mind something with a bit of character, but I didn't want something that could do one of those things. So once I'd narrowed down that list, I got in touch with the owners and we arranged to create a visit for me to go and try the horse. So Ted was actually the first horse that I visited. When I got to the yard, I met the owners, we had a quick chat. The owner grabbed him in from the field, she rode him, and then I rode him after her. And what you're looking for in situations like this is how easy was the drive, what did the owners like, do you get on, do you have a rapport? You won't be seeing them every day, obviously you'll have different days, but you will be contacting them a lot, so you need to make sure that you get on. How is the yard? Are people friendly? What is the vibe? And then finally, do you get on with the horse? What are they like? Are they nice to ride? And that's what you're looking for. So after I left Ted's yard, we decided that we would each have a few days and then we would get in touch with one another. And actually, I ended up cancelling the rest of my appointments and sticking with Ted. He was a great distance away from where I'm living and it was easy to get to work after seeing him, and he just seemed like the best horse for me. So that is personally how I found Ted. Now I'm going to give you some tips to find your own lone horse. The first thing I would do is go via word of mouth, because the equestrian world is quite cliquey and you might find that it's just easier to find people. So if you have an instructor already, or you know a riding school or a livery yard, I would try there first. They will be more likely to help you out if they know you or they have a recommendation of you. So I would try that first. The next best thing to knowing someone personally is try a tack shop. See if there are any adverts in your local tack or countrywide shop. If there isn't, try putting your own up in there and see if anyone gets in touch. The virtual example of this, of course, is how I got Ted, which is a virtual Facebook group. There is a lot of local Facebook groups around for horses all over the country, at least in the UK. I'm sure it's the same in the US. Sorry. I'm sure it's the same in the US. I would try those. It's worth noting that Facebook has banned the sale of animals, but horse and share groups still exist, so do try one of those. The last option, if you don't have social media, if you don't yet know someone in the area, etc., is try a few websites. In the UK at least, the few that I can think of are, oh, he's off on his own. The few that I would try are Pre-Loved, HorseQuest and HorseSmart. I'll link those out below, and if I think of any more after this, I'll link them out. I would just say approach with caution, because you never know, you don't know these people, you've got no recommendation, they're not part of a community. Most of them are obviously completely fine, but you just never know, so be careful. Right, Ted and I are going to get on with this flat work. I hope you have found this video useful. If you do find it useful, give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you have any questions about my own horse finding process, and do subscribe. We would love to have you as part of our horse sharing tips and tricks yard family. Have a great day.